Welcome to the final part of our Foundation Design Masterclass. See, in part 1, 2 and 3, we focused entirely on soil pressure. We used Teng's chart to ensure the soil wouldn't get crushed under the footings. But here is the catch. Even if the soil is strong enough to hold the weight, the footing might still fail in two ways. First, overturning, that is, it could tip over like a domino. And second, sliding. It could slide sideways across the ground. So today, we will perform this critical stability checks using the data from our sample project. See, check 1. Overturning stability to check if the footing will tip over. We will calculate a factor of safety. See, the rule is simple. The good moments, that is gravity, must be at least 1.5 times larger than the bad, that is your wind or earthquake moments. And here is the formula. Factor of safety is equals to resisting moment divided by overturning moment. So what is our main requirement? Ultimately, your factor of safety should be greater than 1.5. So let's calculate the resisting moment using the values from our sample calculation. See, the resisting moment is created by the weight of the buildings, the footing, and the soil sitting on top of it. Important note over here, when calculating resistance, we often multiply the dead weight of the soil and concrete by 0.9. See, this is the safety factor to be conservative just in case the concrete is lighter than expected. And here is the data from our previous sample calculation where the critical load, weight of soil, weight of concrete, length of footing, and all other parameters are mentioned. An equation here for the resisting moment is specified here. You can check this fundamental formula. So based on this equation, let's plug in all the values to calculate the MZ. And here is the calculation I have specified for MZ, including all above sample data calculation. So you can go through this calculation. It is very simple, basic mathematical equation. Put all the values and calculate your MZ value to get the final moment. Now, see, compare this to your overturning moment MZ. See, in our sample sheet, the applied moment was 27.42 kilonewton into meter. Now we will calculate the factor of safety. Now based on our this particular calculation, we are getting FOS as 1288.35. We will divide that with 27.42. So ultimately we are getting the value as 47. Since 47 is much greater than 1.5, this footing is extremely safe against tipping. Now see, let's say if we use the storm moment of 528 kilonewton into meter from part 3, the FOS would be still 2.4. Now, next part 2 is sliding stability, sliding check. See, if the wind pushes the building sideways, a horizontal force is transferred to the foundation. See, we need friction and passive soil pressure to stop it. And here is the formula. Factor of safety means friction resistance plus pressure. It should divide by your horizontal force, and requirement is same as previous. Factor of safety should be greater than 1.5. So friction resistance, this relies on the weight of the footing pressing down on the soil. Friction is ultimately total vertical load into coefficient of friction, right? Now for granular soil, that is sand or gravel, the coefficient is approximately 0.45 to 0.55, and for clay or silt, the coefficient is lower, approximately 0.30 to 35. See, in case of passive pressure, this is the soil pushing back against the side of the footing. See, if PP is 0.5 into density into depth, so you already know how to calculate the passive pressure. Here is the equation. See, important note over here is Teng's book wants that for small projects, we often ignore passive pressure to be extra safe, or because we cannot guarantee the soil will stay there, right? So let's assume a horizontal force of 100 kilonewton and a friction coefficient of 0.5. So the total vertical load is 1015.76 kilonewton. The resisting force is 1015.76 into 0.5. We will get the value as 507.88 kilonewton. So our factor of safety based on this will be 5.07. Ultimately safe. The next section that we are talking about is useful fit. So And finally, a note for interacting with geotechnical engineers. See, while we use Teng's chart to find the pressure for the structure design, the geotechs often ask for the effective area or useful width to check the ultimate bearing capacity of the ground. See, when a footing is loaded eccentrically, we treat it as if it is a smaller footing loaded centrally. And formula for effective dimension, you can check out this particular equation for effective width and length. So we can calculate this effective width and length as well utilizing following formula equation. And based on the data of our sample calculation, here I am considering L as 2.6, and based on its ratios for eccentricity, we can calculate this too. And here is the calculation. Now see, based on calculation, this means that geotechnically our 2.6 meter footing is behaving like a 1.56 meter footing. You must ensure that the soil can support the load on this reduced area. So now from above calculations of this equation, you can go through the calculation and we have worked out the effective length as 1.56 meter. Now see, based on this effective area calculation, it clearly means that geotechnically our 2.6 meter footing is behaving like a 1.56 meter footing, and you must ensure that the soil can support the load on this reduced area. So congratulations, you have completed the Mastering Foundation Design segment. Let's recap the complete workflow you can use in your daily engineering practice. Step 1. Gather data, get your column load, moments and footing sizes. Step 2. Calculate the weight. Don't forget to add the weight of soil and concrete to the total load. Step 3. And next, check your eccentricity value based on L/6. Then in the next part, you just have to figure out the K value from the Teng's chart and verify the safety checks based on overturning and sliding. See, by following this method, you can handle any complex loading scenario from simple columns to high-rise tower facing hurricane winds. Thank you for watching and keep designing safe structures. Hope all these cases help you to understand how Teng's chart is useful in foundation design calculations. Remember, don't just learn software, learn concepts. I'll see you in the next video with more complex topic. Stay tuned and tell me in the comments which topics you want to learn from Civil Nirman.